closing out the year overwhelming you? Are you moving to another classroom and have so much to do and don't know where to begin? No worries. In this video, I will give you 5 tips to help you close out the school year. And you're going to want to stick around to the end because I have 3 bonus tips that will not only help you now, but will save you time and energy at the beginning of next school year. Hi, my name is Miss Celeste, your co-teacher and former classroom teacher, and I help new preschool teachers develop efficient systems and processes for effective classroom management. So the first tip would be 1A and 1B. 1A is starting early. So I don't know when you are actually seeing this video. Hopefully you have given yourself time to actually get ready for the end of the school year and do all the things. So that's part 1. That's 1A. 1B is make a list of all the things that need to get done. Raise your hand if you're a list person. I am. So I think that it helps you get organized. It's almost like a brain dump. If you've ever heard of a brain dump where you just take all the stuff that's going on in your head, you take everything that, in this case, that you need to get done, and you just pour it out of you and pour it onto a paper. And that is one way that you can, first of all, free up space in your head. But second of all, then you can sort of prioritize what needs to get done or what can get done now, and then what's going to have to wait till later. And then you just check off the things that you have completed until you have finished everything. And don't you love checking things off lists? I love it. Tip number 2 is putting away things that you are not using or haven't used in a long time. This is probably one of the earliest things that you can do because they're things that are not being used anyway. So this can definitely help. If they haven't been used or they are no longer being used, then no one's gonna miss them when they are put away. So this is a great way to at least get some things out of the way, and then you'll have less to do as the weeks or days go on. So the third tip is using extra bags. And when I say extra bags, I'm talking about the brown grocery bags that you get from the store. And with those bags, I usually use those for larger items, larger projects, or if there are so many papers in a child's cubby, then I would use that for those things. If they can't fit them in their backpack or whatever, the brown paper bags really come in handy. Tip number 4 is having your students help. So this is a big one that I think some teachers may overlook, especially new teachers may overlook, but having your students help you is a treat for them, but it's also super helpful for you. Now, I'm not telling you to have them standing on chairs and taking things down off of bulletin boards, but if you can take the things down off the bulletin board, that they can go and put those papers in their cubbies to take home. I've done that so many different times and the children love it. They come back for more papers. Do you have more papers? Do you have more papers? Because they want to help. I think making sure that you are asking the children to help or giving them something to help you with is such an underutilized thing a lot of the times, because we think that they're not going to be able to do it, when in actuality they are willing and ready to help you. So they can help you with so many different things, passing out papers, they can help put different materials in certain different places or clean things out. Whatever the case may be, go ahead and ask them. Tip number 5 is covering and labeling your furniture. So this is usually something that is used when a couple things could be happening. So one, maybe your classroom, the floors are going to get waxed over the summer. Using butcher paper, you can cover the furniture, and maybe even putting like a label on the furniture as well, because sometimes they may have to take the items out of the classroom to wax the floors. Taking everybody's things out at one time, you may want to label your classroom furniture just to be on the safe side. So that is one tip that I'm not sure if people realize that that's something that they can do, especially if you're coming back to that classroom. If you know for sure, then that is something that you can definitely do. You can label the furniture either with your name, or you can label it with just the room number, just so the person who's waxing the floor knows that it goes in this classroom, and it saves a lot of time and a lot of headache at the beginning of the next year, because that has happened in schools that I've worked in where we're all scrambling around to find our furniture because they were removed from the classroom temporarily. If you're finding these tips useful, don't forget to check out the other videos that I have on this channel that can also be super helpful to you as well. Okay, now I'm going to share with you the 3 bonus tips that will help you not only now, but also at the beginning of next school year. So bonus tip number 1 is to declutter. This is a great way to get rid of things that you no longer need or have never used before. And when I say declutter, you don't necessarily have to throw things out, but some things may need to be thrown out. You can also ask other teachers to see if they could use it in their classroom. So that is one thing that you can do. And I think decluttering really helps you keep the things that are most important in your classroom. It helps you be more intentional with the items that you have in your classroom. So consider decluttering when you are going through the process of closing out your classroom for the year. Closing out the year lends itself to being the perfect time to do that. Bonus tip number 2 is labeling your boxes with labels and pictures. So this is a great tip to help you for the next school year, because you're not scrambling around in all different kinds of boxes or totes, none of that, because you have a list of items that have been taped to the box. You have pictures so let you know if you're not sure what things are that you have wrote down, so you know exactly where to find things at the beginning of next school year. And this helps you because it will save you so much time. And if you can't do the pictures, then at least do the labels on the boxes. And if you started at the beginning of the school year, then you know how stressful it is looking for different things. So labeling your boxes now, putting a picture of everything that's in the box, will save you so much time. 5 stars. Highly recommend. And bonus number 3, I saved the best for last, is preparing a back to school bin. Let me just tell you, if you put all of your items that you need that first week or so in a bin, you are going to be 5 steps ahead every other teacher in your building, because you're not going to have to scramble around and look for items that you're going to need that first week. So you may have to do a little front loading and deciding what you're going to be doing that first week. Most of us, it's either back to school stuff or maybe all about me, something like that. So anything that you think you're going to need, put it in that bin. Label that bin, jot yourself down a note. And mind you, that first week, you're going to be spending a lot of time on building up your classroom management pillars. I don't want to overlook that, but having that bin is going to save you some time, and it's also going to save you from that frantic feeling, that hustle bustle feeling of trying to get things together and prepared for that first week or so. So make yourself up a bin. It will save you so much time. It will save you energy. It will save you sanity as you are going into the new school year. So prepare yourself a back to school bin, and you will be thanking yourself. All right, so that is it for the 5 tips and the 3 bonus tips. And those bonus tips, let me just say, if I knew about those bonus tips my first couple years as a classroom teacher, it would have meant the world, because we go through the school year and forget about the beginning of the school year because there's so many things going on that by the next school year, you forget what you've done. You forget what you did, and that happened to me all the time because, one, I never wrote anything down, and that's a sidebar tip. Write everything down. What you do that first week, that first month, whatever, write it down so that you have a point of reference for next year. I would have been able to do more things at the beginning of the year because those would have been 3 less things that I had to worry about. So I'm just saying that to say, I hope that you can take those tips now and use them in your class, and then you will be prepared and ready for whatever comes your way at the beginning of the school year so that you have an easy breezy experience, not only now, but later as well. So be sure to give it a thumbs up so that other teachers can find this video. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and put on the notification bell so that you know when the next video has been released. Until then, I'll see you soon. Bye!